Circumference of the circle. Unit 10, Topic 2. Here we have the circle from our formula sheet. Let's see what these letters mean. C, circumference. The length around the outside of a circle. It'll use one-dimensional units, centimeters, meters, inches, yards, feet, etc. One-dimensional means you can trace it with your finger. R, radius. The length from the center of a circle to the outside of a circle, also in one-dimensional units. Lastly, we have that lowercase d, the diameter. This is the length from one point on the circle to another through the center. To solve, we would do 2 times the radius. Feel free to pause here to copy the definitions. Let's find the circumference of each circle. So remember that if we're solving for circumference, we'll use our capital letter C, and I'll need to choose which formula to use. Because 11 yards is a radius, it only goes halfway. I'm going to use the fact that C, the circumference, will equal 2 times pi times the radius. So if my circumference is 2 times pi times the radius, then my circumference will equal 2 times pi times 11 yards. 2 times 11 is 22, so my circumference will equal 22 pi yards, or if I plug it into the calculator, 69.1 yards. Depending on the situation, either answer is appropriate. Now let's find the circumference of this circle, given that my diameter is 20.8 inches. So, because I'm given the diameter, I'll use the circumference formula that needs diameter. My circumference will equal pi times diameter. So, circumference equals pi times diameter. Because my diameter is 20.8 inches, my circumference will equal pi times 20.8 inches. Plugging this into the calculator, I'm going to find that my circumference is about 65.3 inches. Now let's find the circumference of this circle. Again, I'm given a diameter. So again, I'm going to use my circumference equals pi times diameter. If circumference equals pi times diameter, and my diameter is 48 meters, then my circumference will equal pi times 48 meters. That is, my circumference will be 48 pi meters, or approximately 150.8 meters. Try plugging 48 times pi into your calculator, and you should get 150.8 meters. Let's find the circumference of a circle if the radius is 5 inches. So I'm back to radius, so I'm going to use my circumference formula with radius. Circumference will be 2 times pi times the radius. Because my radius is 5, I'm going to say that my circumference is 2 times pi times 5 inches. 2 times 5 is 10, so my circumference is 10 pi inches, which, when I plug into the calculator, is approximately 31.4 inches. Let's try something a little different. Let's find the circumference of the base of a cone. When I talk about the base, I'm just talking about the shape of the bottom, which is just a circle. So given the radius of a circle, when I want the circumference, it will be 2 times pi times that radius. Circumference is 2 times pi times radius, or, because my radius is 21, my circumference will be 2 times pi times 21. 2 times 21 is 42, so my circumference will be 42 pi, or approximately 131.9. Now let's work backwards. Find the radius of each circle. I'm given that my circumference is 18 pi miles. Because I want the radius, and I'm given a circumference, I'm going to use the circumference formula that uses radius. So, if my circumference equals 2 times pi times radius, and my circumference is 18 pi miles, I'm going to find that 18 pi miles will equal 2 times pi times the radius. Because I'm trying to get my radius alone, I'll divide both sides by 2 pi. 18 pi divided by 2 pi is 9, and 2 pi r divided by 2 pi is just r. So I'm going to find that 18 pi divided by 2 pi is 9 miles, will equal my radius. Please be sure to try this in the calculator to make sure that you're getting the same answer as I am. One more time, let's work backwards to find the radius of a circle. I'm still given that my circumference is 20 pi kilometers, and I still want the radius. So I'm still going to use my formula, circumference equals 2 times pi times radius. When the circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius, and my circumference is 20 pi kilometers, I'll find that 20 pi kilometers equals 2 times pi times the radius. Again, my goal is to isolate the radius, that is, I want to get r alone, and the opposite of 2 times pi times r is divide by 2 times pi. So I'll divide both sides by 2 pi. 20 pi divided by 2 pi is 10. So 10 kilometers will equal my radius. Now what if it asked us to take it one step further and find the diameter? What would the diameter be? Well, I know that my diameter is 2 times the radius. So if my radius is 10 kilometers, my diameter would be 2 times 10 kilometers, or my diameter would be 20 kilometers. Make sure you're comfortable working back and forth, both with your radius and your diameter.